home invasion suspect shot and killed by the people who live inside. We have the very latest from police.
Even though we are wearing different patches, this is one big fire family.
San Diego crews are helping fight the biggest fire in our state.
It's pupping season at La Jolla Cove, and we're talking with residents and tourists about what should be done to keep sea lions and humans safe.
This was hundreds, thousands. It was incredible.
What are these creatures in the water off Sunset Cliffs?
At a premium.
This player's impressive comeback after taking a fastball to the face. It's 6 a.m. on Tuesday, July 30th, and you're up with CBS 8. Thank you so much for being with us. The time right now is 6 a.m. I'm Neda Iranpour.
And I'm Evan Iranu. We want to start off with the check of the forecast as we start off the morning with some fog out there, some marine layer clouds, but temperatures by this afternoon should be pretty comfortable. We're seeing those clouds will slowly pull back into the afternoon hours, but for now they're sticking with us. We see 70s along the coast by the afternoon, so still pretty nice beach days ahead with those mid-70s. You just have to wait till about the afternoon to see the sun. 80s across your inland valleys, upper 80s for the mountains, and 108 for the deserts. Coming up, we'll be talking more about the warming trend that we'll see throughout this week. But in the meantime, we want to get to some of your top headlines of the morning.
New this morning, a man is dead after police say he broke into a home in Oceanside.
This happened just after 7 last night in the 4100 block of Diamond Circle. CBS 8's Chris Groh is live there at the scene with everything that we know this hour. Chris?
Yeah, good morning. And we did hear from Oceanside Police Department. They're telling us that this was a person who had tried to break into multiple homes here in this neighborhood and that finally got through into one that there was a man and a woman living inside. Now, inside of that bedroom, through that sliding glass door that he got into, that's where the woman was. The man came in to confront that intruder, and that's when that intruder threw a rock at him, hitting him in the face. So that man then went to go grab his firearm. He fired 3 shots, hitting that suspect once and killing him. Now, Oceanside Police, they did try to go ahead and resuscitate him after they were brought to the scene here, after calls came in for assault with a deadly weapon, but they were unable to, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. Now, remember, I told you he was armed with a rock. He also had a stick on him, and as far as how many homes he tried to break into, we're being told somewhere around 5 to 7 homes. So this is something where this person was trying to get into any home that he could. Here's more from Oceanside Police Department.
He had tried some of the other homes, a few of them on that street, and was successful with the house at hand.
Now, according to Oceanside Police Department, they're not going to be releasing any names pertaining to this case just yet. Now, what will likely happen is that that suspect's name may be released first after next of kin have been notified. But as for what they're asking for, this is still an active investigation. They are asking anyone who maybe lives in and around this area for any information for someone who matches this description, maybe somebody walking around again with that stick, with that rock, trying to break into other homes and so forth. If you think you know anything, if you haven't spoken with police department, if you're just waking up at this hour and finding this out, you're being asked to call the police department. Evan and Neda.
Chris, thank you very much. And now new this morning, 3 children are dead after a stabbing attack at a Taylor Swift themed dance and yoga class. This was in the UK. It happened in the Southport near Liverpool. At least 5 other people are in critical condition. A 17-year-old boy was arrested. Taylor Swift posting a message on social media saying she's in shock, saying, quote, "These were just little kids at a dance class."
2 teens charged in connection with 2 shootings in Chula Vista will be tried in federal court. The shootings are believed to be associated with Mexican drug cartels. They happened back in March. The first one happened outside of a Chili's restaurant on Paseo del Rey in Chula Vista. 1 man was hurt there. The second shooting happened just hours later outside of the Salerno luxury apartments in Otay Ranch, where 1 person was wounded and another killed. The case was dismissed in juvenile court and now heads to federal court. Also today, the San Diego City Council is discussing and possibly voting on a housing plan that could more than double the populations of Hillcrest and University City. More than 17,000 homes in Hillcrest would be added, which could include high-rise buildings of 20 stories or more. The plan would add 30,000 homes in University City, which would likely balloon the population to more than 100,000 residents by the year 2050. And right now, more than a dozen wildfires are burning in California, including the Nixon fire in Riverside County and the Park Fire, spanning 4 counties in Northern California. The Nixon fire started yesterday just outside of Temecula. It has now grown to about 3,700 acres. In Northern California, the Park Fire is now the 6th largest wildfire in California state history. It's burned more than 383,000 acres and is only 14% contained. San Diego fire crews are up in Northern California helping battle the Park Fire there. That includes crews from the Chula Vista Fire Department, CAL FIRE San Diego, as well as strike teams from San Diego, Carlsbad, and Heartland Fire Departments.
Well, President Biden has promised to end the practice of separating migrant families at the border. A new study finds that's still happening. Under former President Trump's so-called zero tolerance policy, more than 5,000 families were forcibly separated at the border. This new report shows that under Customs and Border Protection policy, it is still happening. Between September and December of last year, here in San Diego, the immigrant rights group Al Otro Lado documented more than 1,000 family separations.
It's really devastating. They're tricked into the separation. Sometimes they tell them, we're just going to take the kid's picture or something like that, and they never see their children again.
We have reached out to Customs and Border Protection for comment on this, but have not heard back as of this morning. President Biden says he wants to change the way the U.S. Supreme Court operates. He's pushing for 18-year term limits and an ethics code. It's highly unlikely the ideas would gain traction in the Republican-controlled House, and they would face major challenges in the narrowly divided Senate. Today, the acting director of the Secret Service will face tough questions from a Senate committee over the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. According to excerpts of his testimony obtained by CBS News, he's expected to tell lawmakers he cannot defend why the roof where the gunman opened fire was not secured. The FBI says Trump has agreed to sit down for a victim interview to describe what he saw that day. This morning, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump are ramping up their campaigns. Harris has raised a record $200 million in the week since President Biden dropped out. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who serves as co-chair of the Harris campaign, says Harris will decide on her running mate likely within the next week. Meantime, Trump appealed to Christian conservatives.
Get out and vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore.
Republicans say the former president was making a joke there about the state of the country under Joe Biden. Our political analysts will have more on the race for the White House. That's coming up here live in just a few minutes. And now it's 6:08, and you mentioned some fog out there. Evan, is that going to be an issue?
Yeah, it looks like for the morning commute out there, we could see some spots where visibility is down below about a mile or so. A couple spots, especially through our inland valleys, where we see that as a likelihood. Temperatures this afternoon are going to be right around average. That's mid-70s along the coast and upper 80s across our inland valleys and our mountains out there. Let's take a look at that visibility as it stands right now. Fallbrook is at less than a mile of visibility. El Cajon, 4 miles, along with Miramar, 5 miles for Kearney Mesa and for Brownfield. Other than that, though, we're not seeing too many struggle spots on the map here. You can see from the live look at San Miguel, this is all cloud cover that we're working with toward the bottom of your screen. But once those clouds start to recede, which will happen pretty soon, over the next about 3 hours or so, we should start to see a lot of that sunshine in play. Walking out the door, temperatures are mostly in the 60s along the coastline, 64 right now in Oceanside, 63 in Del Mar, and 67 in downtown San Diego. As you start to move east, we get a lot more relief. I mean, Ramona's at 51 degrees. This is, of course, in contrast to when we've had a lot of these heat waves come through and temperatures tend to stay in the 70s overnight. That doesn't give us a lot of relief. This year helps us out quite a bit. You can open up the windows overnight, help to bring in some of those temperatures in the 50s across our inland valleys. We do see our chance of rain start to increase, especially off toward East County by the time we get toward the end of this upcoming week. It's going to be mainly Thursday through the upcoming weekend that we see our best opportunity for those monsoonal showers. That's going to be mainly a rise in humidity that we all notice, but across our local mountains and deserts, we're going to notice the showers that pop up. These are pop-up monsoonal showers Thunderstorms possible in the mix as well. So we'll keep track of that going toward the end of this week. But for the next couple days, we're staying dry out there. Looking at traffic this morning, it's very quiet. No major crashes or collisions on the map here. You can head to our website at cbs8.com/traffic for the latest on what to expect. Looking at border wait times this morning, it's a 125-minute wait at the San Ysidro Port of Entry. So over 2 hours you'll be waiting. Otay Mesa Port of Entry is going to be about an hour 20 in total.